ahead and use them. What would you prefer? Yellow spandex?
Gesundheit.
Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good!
Well, I'll tell you, nobody handles garbage better than we do.
You don't remember?
For you, the day Bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday. What are you smiling about?
Dude, I almost had you. Left cheek! Left cheek! Left cheek!
Hey guys, welcome to my next review. This is the G.I. Joe Classified series, Target exclusive, number 181, Ralph Steeler, Pulaski, and Short-Fuze. So I picked this up from Target's website a while back, or whenever they dropped. And then it was fulfilled, and this is me playing catch up still, so looking forward to popping this sucker open and messing with these guys. So let's move to the unboxing. Let's get the turntable out of the way. And where are we pulling out from? What side? Does it matter? We'll pull out from this side. So everybody should know by now, Steeler and Short-Fuze were part of the... Were they part of the original 13? I know Short-Fuze was Steeler technically. I can't remember when the Mobat came out. But, oh, you know what? Before we pull it out of the packaging, let's look at the packaging. So there's that, and then here's like their weird tech spec / file card system. This side, some artwork that we don't get much of anymore. And then here is the renders on the back with little focus shots of them and more blast effects. It is what it is. Here's all the legal stuff. And then more on the bottom, and then the barcode. So now we'll pull them out. So here's what they look like in their clamshell, and we have a butt ton of accessories and blast effects. Let's get some of this stuff out. I'm not a fan of the tape. especially after I recently trimmed my fingernails. Yeah, just slide them out. A little bit of force. Just trying not to force the mortar out. There's that. There's one of the shells that flexed more than I wanted. Sidearm. Rifle. Submachine gun. There's his glasses. Don't want to lose those. Shovel. I have a feeling we're going to run into a lot of accessories that we can't store. That's almost like my biggest complaint anymore with I mean, probably shouldn't complain about it, that, you know, we're getting accessories, like a lot of accessories, but I like when I'm able to put my accessories on my figure, kit them out, you know, especially the military based stuff. If it's, you know, like Marvel Legends that are comic, I don't care as much, don't bother me, but with these military, like the Joe stuff, I like it when you can store all their accessories. It's like, I don't know what everybody else's thought, but I could care less about the blast effects. I don't need them. So the last thing, let's get Steeler out. So first off, let's look at Steeler. So here is a close-up of his face sculpt, and then his body. He's just basic. You know, he's one of the original 13. Basic. What was that? OD green, I guess is the proper term. So let's take a look at his articulation. So head, ball joint. You go back like so, down, not much. Arms rotate 360. Shoulders feel good. I like when shoulders, or just any joint in general, where there's not a whole lot of effort to try to get them to articulate immediately. Butterfly forward. Butterfly, not really anything in the back. Bicep swivel. Double jointed elbow. Real smooth. Not too loose, not too tight. Like I said, I dig that. Typical wrist, you know, pin, swivel, back and forth. Does the opposite hand go up and down? Yeah, so the opposite, it goes up and down. He's got the cutout for the ab crunch. One good crunch forward. And good, decent one back. He does have a waist rotation. You can't really do a full rotation because the web gear kind of stops that. Drop down hip. They can go that far forward. They can if you rotate it around, it can go that far back. The web gear kind of gets in the way a little bit of the holster, but you can't get it out to there. It does have a thigh swivel. Pinless double jointed knee. Smooth yet secure. Boot cut. Did I say thigh swivel? I think I did. And then the foot can go that far back, that far forward, and front facing pin to get the rocker. The web gear actually feels good. I like how it has the sidearm holster and the knife sheath. Like, I like how there's a strap from the belt, so that way these really don't glide. It looks like this the holster for the it feels like it could come off, but at the same time it looks like it might stretch. But so yeah, that is a Steeler. So let's take a look at Short-Fuze. You know, funny thing about Short-Fuze, that was like one of my first original like green shirts that I had as a kid, and I didn't know it was Short-Fuze. Like, the longest time mine carried Crankcase's gun. Never knew it was Crankcase's gun when I was a kid. Found that out when I found my childhood Joes, and then, you know, started looking them up. Now, I don't like how his holster is above that thigh cut, and it's like right and into his crotch. I'm gonna kind of stretch that down to where it's right below the thigh cut there, and then bring his belt down to actually be on his waist. It was kind of riding high. So they didn't do like the Hasbro emblem on their belt buckle? Huh. I'm trying to think, do I have any of the other 13 other than Snake Eyes? Did they do the Snake Eyes? Snake Eyes is right there in reaching distance. No, his is just more like a buckle. Yeah, I still have mine carded. I haven't opened it yet. I thought on some of these OG 13. I mean, shout out in the comments if they did do that on. Maybe they did it on Rock and Roll. I don't have that Rock and Roll. I still have the first Rock and Roll. I want to get the original 13 Rock and Roll. But anyways, let's take a look at Short-Fuze. So here's a close up of his face. Really good looking face. I like the eyes. One thing that's nice about him compared to Steeler, I like the color variants in his boots and his pants, and you know, he's still like that OD green, but there are some variants, you know. Oh, that looks off. Is the camera catching that? Like, he has a weird outline on his hairline. I wonder if that's just like bad paint job. I mean, it's not like a deal breaker, although it might affect what I have to say in the final thoughts, so just try not to forget. So anyways, not really much movement forward, and to be honest, not much. I mean, he does not have much head movement. Kind of side to side, but he can do the rotation. Shoulders, really smooth out shoulders. I dig that. 360. His elbows are a little bit tighter. That second one does not want to budge. I don't want to force it too much. Yeah, so bicep swivel, and then wrist rotation, swivel back and forth, and then opposite on the other. Waist rotation. Oh, ab crunch. He has a deeper ab crunch. That far back. I wonder why Steeler. Steeler's a different body. That's why, but drop down. Significant enough. This far forward. I mean, you can't go back the rim of his butt. Thigh swivel. Did I do splits? Ooh. His knees are tighter than Steelers. Hear that? Boot cut. Ankle back. Forward. And rocker. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like the knife sheath on his knee, but all right. So that's the figures. let's take a look at the accessories. So on Short-Fuze's side of the package, I'm going to assume which weapons go with who by what side they're on. So here's Short-Fuze's helmet. Has that visor. It can go up. I like how they incorporated the headphones into the helmet and the mic. I believe the shovel is his because he would probably have to dig to plant his mortar cannon. And here is his backpack. Here's one of the mortar shells. Kind of flexed it a little bit when I was pulling it out. This looks like the base. The base to the mortar cannon. Yep. Is that it's got a little flash on it. Guess it plugs in like that. Here's a good look at it. Then he does have a submachine gun, which is, I think, is the same one that came with Outback. I don't know if it came with anybody before that. Same annoying thing, that strap. The magazine can pull out. Here's his sidearm. I like the wrapping on the grip. It's cool. Same thing with his rifle. It's kind of erect, pointing up. And the magazine does come out on it. And I think these are Short-Fuze's glasses. Let's see. Next up, the knife. I'm gonna say this is Short-Fuze's knife because that was on his side. And that should be all of Short-Fuze's stuff. So let's take a look at Steeler's. So here's Steeler's helmet. The visor does go up. Might have to put him on my ramen tank. I don't know. I kind of want to do the bridge layer though. Here's his sidearm. His submachine gun, Uzi, and the magazine does not pull out, but the suppressor does. And then here's his knife. A little bit of a curved blade and a curved handle. And then here are all the blast effects. We've seen these before. A little smoke effect, a little rapid fire pew. I was gonna say 2 of these, but they're different. Another like blast effect, like the starburst looking blast effect. The smoke, and another burst. So let's put their gear on. Oh, the really good translucent. I didn't realize it was translucent. The visor, nice. There is a clip for his holster on his chest. Let's lift that up. Stop dropping stuff. Tab that. Oh, shoot. Tab that in. And let's see, his knife can go there. The suppressor has its own pocket. That's what I like, is being able to store all this stuff. That's what I think Hasbro does it right for these Joe figures. I'm gonna take that knife out to put a little bit more pressure on the suppressor. Sucker does not want to go down. It's like it doesn't want to go through that second loop. It's like you need to heat it up and then shove it in. or spit on it. One of the two. There we go. Jeez Louise. And then his submachine gun could go in that holster. So that is him kitted out. Oh, I just noticed that he has like a comm right there. So Short-Fuze does have the glasses. It's the one thing I don't like. Actually, these fit pretty snug. And then his helmet. Should I put the helmet on, the glasses on before the helmet or after the helmet? So that might be a little challenging. Just got to hold them in place as you drop the helmet down. Still looks out of whack. This is where the handy dandy spudger comes into play. Maybe. They're just cockeyed. There, I think I got it. So there's that. Let's see his knife. Go in the sheath on his ankle. Sidearm. Now I'm not 100% sure how everything works with this backpack. So it looks like you disassemble the mortar cannon, then the base can plug in to the barrel portion of it. Then and it looks like, does it matter if it's folded up or folded down? Looks like it just goes in like that. I think it needs to be folded down. Now, I don't... So there's like a piece of flash on this. I might need to trim it off with my nippers. I don't know if that was causing it to not peg in very well. You just peg that in. Yeah, it doesn't want to peg in. Oh, it's on a ball. So that's cool. So that's how you can like articulate your mortar cannon. I felt it moving, but I didn't realize it was on a ball. Okay, cool. All right, so just work that in there. Collapse that down, and so the shovel pegs in. Better one way or the other. Does not peg in very well. Does not peg in at all. That doesn't peg in. That's a shame. Does the rifle peg in the trigger slot? No. They don't look like either of them will. That's unfortunate. At least that one has like a... I wonder if I shave down these pegs though, if I can't. You shouldn't have to. These should plug in right out of the box, but as you can see, they don't fit. But anyway, so we'll go from there. Oh, and look, from pushing to try to get it pegged in, I put stress on it. So beware when trying to peg the stuff in that you push on it too hard, you'll stress the plastic. But it doesn't look like I can get these items to peg in. And it's not like keyed a certain way. Like, okay, it barely goes in there. But then the base doesn't want to peg in very well. And then the shovel comes out. So, yeah, not a fan of that. Not a fan. But anyways, I've screwed around enough trying to do that. So let's move on. Alright, so let's do some size comparisons. So here we are next to a Jada Street Fighter figure. Let's see what else we got. Cobra Commander. Let's see, do I have a normal size Marvel Legend? Let's see if we can get Shayna in there. There she is. And still a larger Marvel Legend. Here they are compared to the Rhino. And since, you know, we have green figures, let's show off my favorite, Maximum Hulk. So yeah. Boom. Alright, so let's move on to my final thoughts. First things first is the tolerances. It's just some weird things with the accessories for Short-Fuze. Like the base doesn't want to plug in properly to the back of it when you're storing it. The shovel didn't want to plug into the backpack. It even, as I was trying to peg it in, I put stress marks on the back of the backpack, like where the peg is. The other thing is, I'm tired of the blast effects, especially the fact that they're not even really compatible with Steeler, because if Steeler doesn't have a suppressor in, they won't plug in, because the blast effects are male connection ports, and that's what his barrels are. So I don't need those anymore. Another thing with Short-Fuze, like he comes with another rifle / submachine gun, and it really can't plug into his backpack. Neither can his rifle. Like the rifle, the trigger area, whatever that's called, won't peg into the peg, and then the submachine gun that has the bigger peg it's just too wide. It doesn't fit. But other than that, positives, I mean, we got Steeler. We can put him with the ramen tank or any future tank release that may or may not come from Hasbro. I love the breakup of the colors on Short-Fuze with his like his brown pack and holster on his web gear to the differences in color in his boots from his pants to his shirt and also in the helmet. I like the glasses, but I can't get them to fit in properly while he has his helmet on. Maybe it's just more things that I have to finagle. Another thing that's really nice on Steeler, I like his web gear. Just how he has the holsters and it's all connects. Where it kind of can become a pain in the butt with Short-Fuze because they're separate. Same thing with like the holster on Short-Fuze's ankle. It's kind of annoying when trying to manipulate. But other than that, decent offering. It's good to add these guys to the roster because I know they mean more to the older Joe fans because it's the original 13, but it's another numbered figure set. So if you're the collect them all type, definitely you want to add these to your collection as well. So that's all I have for this one. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. If you could, please like the video. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, hit that subscribe button. Also, comment in the comment section. Tell me what you liked, tell me what you didn't like. Are you going to add these guys to your collection? Also, share the video if you could. It's greatly appreciated. And can you hype regular videos? Hey, if you can, do that while you're on mobile. Also, check me out on all my other social medias. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, X. I have my own Facebook page. I am posting news daily on those sites. And then on Tuesday morning, I am doing a long form. Well, not long form. It's compiling all the news stories for the week and then putting them in a pre-record live video. And then Saturday nights, talking movies, talking whatever, doing a live stream every Saturday night. And then you can catch this review on Fridays, doing reviews twice a week, Fridays and Tuesdays. Also, you can find me on Figure Fight Club, where I am a co-host, and I have my own show on Mondays called Decepticast at 10:15 p.m. Eastern. So check all that stuff out. And the links will be in the description. But that's all I have. I'd like to thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.